I've been helping people hire amazing candidates for their team for 15 years. Now the thing is, everybody wants to hire amazing people, but most companies get it wrong. In today's video, I'm going to give you 6 things you need to do if you want to hire great people for your team consistently. Let's go. Now the first thing you need to do is you need to make your job description worth applying to. A lot of people post job descriptions online and they throw it on Indeed, they throw it on CareerBuilder, they throw it on LinkedIn, and they just wonder, why aren't people applying to my role? When was the last time you read that job description? When was the last time you actually looked at it and thought to yourself, will this elicit the behavior that I'm looking for? That behavior is I want someone to read that and feel motivated to apply to my role. Admit to yourself, probably not very carefully, right? You probably haven't spent the time and done that. Most people write, here are the requirements, here's what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, here are the nice to haves, and that's it. What's exciting about that? Nothing's exciting about that probably. So the first thing I tell people to do, that if you even want a chance of making sure that you can attract compelling candidates to your role, is you need to make sure that your job description is worth applying to. Make it exciting. Talk about what they're going to be doing in the next 1, 2, 3 years. Where are they going to grow? Where are they going to expand? What is intriguing about what they're going to be doing on a day-to-day basis? And what is the impact they're going to make? That is where you want to start. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to make sure that your application process isn't incredibly painful. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, when you have a job posting and you click on it and people read it and they go, I want to apply to this company. Is that terrible? Does it take a long time? Do people click on it and do they have to upload a bunch of information that they already have in their resume? Do they need to type in their name, where they went to school, their last jobs, the address? The longer your application takes, the higher the likelihood is that people drop out of the process. In fact, Smart Recruiters, they did a survey and it shows that about 92% of people who click on a job never end up applying to that job, like following through to the actual end. That's called an attrition rate in recruiting. And what that means is attrition is the percentage of people who click on a job but never follow through with applying. And it's incredibly high when it becomes challenging to do. Now, some people say to me, well, Ben, if they really want the job, they'll apply. Yet maybe great candidates who always have options are not going to want to spend 35 minutes filling out your job application because they don't even know if you will reach out. Most candidates have had terrible experiences applying to jobs. Being a candidate sucks. So they don't want to spend 35 minutes applying to your job when they don't even know if you will ever reach out to them. One of the best things you can do if you want to get great candidates is make your application process easy and seamless. Now, the next thing you need to do is you need to make sure that your interview process is quick. The quicker you can move through an interview process, the higher the likelihood is that you will be able to hire a great person. According to LinkedIn, about 78% of candidates would consider dropping out of an interview process if it went too long. Now, too long depends on who you're talking to, right? Different candidates are going to have a different idea of what too long is, but you want to go quick. There's an interesting thing that happens when a candidate interviews for a role. Even if they weren't really looking before, once they interview for a role, they start to think, well, I wonder what else is out there. So they start to apply to a bunch of different roles. And if they're a great candidate, they are going to get interviews. And if they're a great candidate, those companies who are interviewing them are going to want to move quick to get them to offer stage so they can secure their services. So if you are part of an organization, part of a hiring team, and you are moving slow, you are absolutely putting yourself at risk to not be able to hire great people. One of the most powerful things you can do if you want to hire great people for your team is move quickly and make your process efficient. Look, I've been in recruitment for 15 years and I can't tell you how many times you submit a candidate, they have a phone call with a recruiter or an HR person, and then there's 3 weeks between that call and the call with a hiring manager. And then another 2 weeks between when they can bring them on site because they've got to meet with 3 or 4 other people. If you are taking 6, 7, 8 weeks to move great candidates through the process, they're not going to be there at the end of the road. Now, the next thing that you have to do is you need to sell them on the role. When you are talking to candidates and you're interviewing them, this is not just an opportunity for you to grill them, right? You certainly need to understand, are they qualified for the role? Are they going to be a good fit for the organization? Absolutely. But you also need to pitch them on why the role is exciting. I've said it before, I will say it again. Great candidates will always have options, and they're gonna have a lot of options. So if you expect them just to answer a whole bunch of your questions and you not actually pitch them on why their role is worth entertaining further, you're gonna lose that candidate. I've talked to so many hiring managers over the years who have an old school mentality where it's like, nah, it's their job to sell us and why they should come work here. Yeah, okay, but it really depends on the market, because in a candidate-driven market where there's an abundance of jobs but not enough candidates, you absolutely need to sell everybody. But even if it's the other way around, even if there's not a lot of jobs and there's a lot of candidates, the best candidates, the most effective candidates, they will always have options. So you need to sell them on the growth, on what's exciting about your role, on the impact they're going to make, on the training and development. One of the powerful things you can actually do is find out why they're even talking to you in the first place. Are they dissatisfied because of the relationship with their boss? Are they dissatisfied because they don't see growth and development? Are they dissatisfied because of the tools and techniques they have to use to perform their daily tasks? Find out where the misalignment is, and then show them why your opportunity addresses that in a way that is satisfactory to them. And if you can do that, you're really going to get them leaning in, which is essential if you want to hire great people. One of the easiest things you can do that does not take big organizational change to become a more effective company when it comes to hiring is communicate consistently with the people in your process. It sounds like a small thing, but so many companies do not do this. They don't reach out to the candidates proactively and let them know, hey, here's where we're at. I know this is taking a little bit longer. Here's why. We should have more news for you, blank, right? At every stage in the process, the candidate should know exactly what is going on, when the next step is, and when they can expect to hear from you. If you are just expecting candidates to sit out there, have no idea what's going on, and be wondering, I wonder when they're going to reach out to me, and you think that's going to work for you, well, yeah, I've got bad news for you. That's not going to work, because they're going to become disenfranchised. They're going to think they're really not interested. I should withdraw from the process. They're really not interested. I should apply for different roles. They're really not interested. Perhaps I don't have it so bad here and I'm going to stay where I'm at currently. It is really important that you communicate with candidates. One of the things I always tell candidates on my channel is that the way a company treats you in the interview process is the best they're going to treat you. It doesn't get better when you become a candidate. That experience, that thoughtfulness, that intentionality with communicating them and make them understand that their time is worthwhile and that you have a plan for them, that is really important. So if you don't show it to them, you're going to lose great candidates. Now, another big thing that you should do if you really want to find the best candidates is you want to find people who aren't looking. And by that, I mean proactive sourcing, going out and identifying great people who are doing the job you want them to do or the job prior to the job, right? So this would be a step up. And find them online, find them on LinkedIn, find them out in the world, and reach out to them and pitch your opportunity. Some of the best candidates are not going to just apply to your job. There are candidates who are great on the market who are applying, and you absolutely want to talk to them. But if you don't do any sourcing whatsoever and you're entirely reliant on the people who apply to your job, you're missing out on a giant portion of the working population and the candidate pool. Now, what I do outside of YouTube is I work for a company that specifically focuses on passive candidates. What that means is we identify top performers who are not actively applying to jobs, and we bring them to our partners. And that provides them with incredible value. I always say, we are going to find you candidates that when you post this job online tomorrow, they will not apply. They are too busy being awesome. You should want to do that for yourself too. And if you need help with doing that, if you need help finding great people for your team and you're a hiring manager and you want my help, reach out to me on LinkedIn and I'd be happy to help you. Now, if you're watching this video, maybe you're a hiring manager, but you also might be a candidate. And if you're a candidate, I want you to go watch this video here. This video here are secrets to interviewing that the pros know. The best candidates, the absolute professionals, they know these secrets. And I want you to know them too. So go watch this video.